a dynamic duo brewing team, a fiercely dedicated fan club known as the Taste Buds, and delicious beer. It's all coming up next on Untapped Northwest Arkansas with Rendezvous Junction. All right, so here we are with Mike Pearson, half of the dynamic duo that I was talking about earlier, Rendezvous Junction. I hear you have an awesome Genesis story. Share that with us.
Sure. My son-in-law and I took a trip. We could bond a little bit. We did the 4-pass loop out in Colorado around the Maroon Bells. It was an extreme hiking trip. We had to really get prepared for it, and we worked our tails off to get ready and then did the hike and realized we didn't prepare well enough. It was difficult. But nonetheless, when we finished the hike, I took him to a craft brewery to celebrate. And up until that point, Levi's experience around craft beer was non-existent. After the tour, we'd sit at their tap room and had several of their beers, and he goes, "Man, it'd be awesome to do this for a living." And as soon as the trip was over, we came back, bottled a couple of kit brews, and started brewing in the garage. I'm a pharmacist by education, so that background and that science made it a little easier for me than most. Levi and I chose to pursue this path of making our own all-grain brews and partnered with New Way Hydroponics here in Rogers. Stopped by and met Jesse, and he let me sample his grains, and before you know it, I'm making recipes, and Levi and I are at it in the garage.
And see, it's just amazing to think that, you know, you hear these stories and, you know, we get excited about things and things that we're passionate about, but you guys actually did it. I mean, that you're at this point now, it's like, how does that make you feel? You actually took the plunge and you're building on that now.
What's exciting, the thing about it is, I've loved craft beer for 24, 25 years. My wife and I used to live in Seattle, and we got introduced to craft beer at that point in time. And when we moved to Arkansas, there really wasn't any craft beer at all. And so I had friends and family shipping it to me from Washington State here. And to think about now the fact that we're a part of that whole industry, you know, it's just a bit surreal to a certain extent. We did something more out of a celebratory event, that we actually completed something, and we took it forward into, you know, actually doing it. And then what led us into, you know, the next step was we had friends and family joining us out at our house, you know, enjoying our craft beer. And at this point in time, we've got dozens and dozens of recipes, and we're sharing those recipes with friends and family. And those friends and family are saying, "Man, I'd buy this beer if you'd let us." You know, that friends and family evolved into kind of what we now know as our Taste Buds. And so opportunity opened up here, partner with a great company in Foster's Pint and Plate, and we stepped in and started learning how to commercially brew beer and take that homegrown or homebrewed beer and scale it to you know, a commercial opportunity, and voila, here we are.
See, and it's interesting because I feel that the way that you guys have grown and the passion that you have and to where you are now, you really haven't lost any of that ability to make beers that I've heard from some of the Taste Buds actually, that from the lightest to the darkest, or the most, you know, basic style to something that's a little out there, that it's accessible all the way across, you know, all the taps that you guys have, so to speak. Everyone just loves all those beers, and that's a hard thing to do, you know, because cherry picking these days, oh, I like this beer from this brewery or whatever, but it seems that it's a very, you know, common thing for everyone just loves everything that you offer.
So Taste Bud, as I've learned recently, is
beer lovers getting together and be with the people that you love.
Friends, family, anybody really that can appreciate good beer and come together.
Enjoying local craft beer.
People that appreciate good tasting beer for what it is, you know, and
be able to take apart those differences of, hey, I'm an IPA drinker, hey, I'm a wheat beer drinker, and you all find a commonality between each other.
And getting together and drinking those beers.
Brewed by great people and just enjoying all that life has to offer.
Like a family get-together type of situation.
so that's what a Taste Bud is.
We're often asked, so what's up with the beer names? The reality is that coming up with beer names is almost as fun as coming up with the beers. We started naming our beers after what happens when people come together. friends, family would come over and enjoy our beers, and rather than just calling them a pale ale or a porter or an IPA, we started naming them based on what happens when people come together. Beginning with Shindig, our white wheat ale, followed up with Just Jammin', our cream ale. Dilly Dally is our malt-forward American pale ale. We've got a Hop of the Morning, which is an Irish red IPA. Lollygagger is our double IPA, and then Shenanigans is our Imperial IPA. We've got a spiced amber ale called Chai Society, and then our vanilla coffee porters called Eavesdrop. Coming up with beer names is something that now is kind of taking a life of its own.
Where do you see that going in the future? What brews do you have in mind? Or
Yeah, well, so first of all, we did bring forward a couple of beers that I like. But what we've learned is that if we don't listen to our taste buds, that our best-selling beers are the ones that our taste buds recommend. We have an event every October. In fact, we've got one coming up on October the 13th out at my place. It's kind of a private event where we bring our taste buds out, and our taste buds sample all of. We'll have some of our commercial beers there just to celebrate that, but we'll bring forward several of our beers that kind of are in R&D at the moment, and they will give us candid, authentic feedback on whether they like these beers or not, and we take their feedback seriously. And just like, for example, today, Shenanigans is our top-rated beer, and right now it's our trending top beer. Shenanigans came from last year's Oktoberfest. It was a new beer that I introduced into that, actually related to some friends and family back in Seattle. And those friends and family actually came in and said, hey, we want you to make a beer in our honor because we're going to come to your Oktoberfest a year ago. And so, okay, what kind of beer do you like? Well, we want an IPA in Shenanigans we brewed in honor of our friends, our extended taste buds, if you will, from the Pacific Northwest. And that beer just really it took the show last year in October, and we brought it forward, and now it's our top trending beer. This October, we'll bring forward another dozen more of our R&D beers, and we'll listen to our taste buds once again, and based on that, we'll bring forward our next set of 1 or 2 or 3 beers.
That's awesome. So staying true to your audience, knowing what you love to do, having the passion to continue doing that. Mike, Rendezvous Junction.
Cheers.
Cheers. You guys need to check this out.
Just Jammin' is my favorite, Just Jammin', baby. The first time I had it, it brought me back to my childhood, drinking a cream soda right out of the can.
So I'm drinking the Eavesdrop Porter, and it's got to be my favorite one. Sweet, it's strong, it's got more flavor in it than the meal that you're going to have with it.
Chai Society is my fall go-to beer. It's got, if you like chai lattes, if you go and get a drink because you're like, oh, it's fall, I'm ready to kind of taste fall, you'll get that out of a Chai Society. And so it has those spices that whenever, you're sitting out on like a crisp, cool evening and you're wanting to kind of experience fall, like this is it.
They're very unique in flavor, I would say. There's not a brewery out there, at least in this area, that does flavors like Rendezvous Junction does. They're all good, clean, they're just super tasty. I mean, I don't really know any other way to describe it.
So the community and the passion and the drive and everything that comes together to make Rendezvous Junction what it is, and you've heard that from the taste buds. Come find out what it means to be a taste bud and what it means to be a part of this craft beer movement. I think you're going to find that if there's something you think you didn't like before, you might just like it with Rendezvous Junction. I just need more of this,